I can't move.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh
Holy!
my god. No. Oh my god.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Run!
Oh my fucking god! Oh no! No! Oh
Why are
god!
you going so slow?
I can't go any faster! So, yeah. If you don't get my joke, Barracuda by heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny. I know. I'm horrible. I'm awful. Get off me. Hey.
Well, I was singing it in my
No.
head before you started playing your air guitar, so.
Yeah.
Never understood why people like that song so much.
It's an okay song. It's
not a big fan.
Crazy on You is a much better song by them.
Not a big fan of that one either.
Really? I just love that. I love the acoustic intro. But yeah, the whole deal with Barracudas is that they're kind of terrifying, and also where they're not really able to be eaten because they're like very like rigid, like they're mostly just bones, and there's not really any way you can eat them. Barracudas just are gnashing, gnawing monsters of the ocean, and they're kind of terrifying. The only thing that they're too like, well, that's the fish I wouldn't want to run into. There's also a I don't know if it's a crustacean or not, but the bullet shrimp. You ever seen one of those?
Mm-mm.
The bullet shrimp has a punching apparatus on it that can literally break. It has the same impact as a .22 long rifle. There was a guy who was like deep sea fishing, and he caught one. He didn't realize it was one of those. He got it up, and he sat it down, and he was going to cut it loose, and it literally just like knocked a hole through his wetsuit and and made him bleed like really bad. It, like hit his shin. It was, oh gosh. But yeah, he eventually like cut the line loose and threw it back in. Then he looked at the damage, and he's like, that little shit punched through my damn wetsuit. And yeah, the ocean's terrifying. And there's still so little we know about it. Because, once again, you know, it's like, oh, we know everything there is to know, yet we haven't even explored like 30% of our ocean. So, yeah. Anyone out there who tells you, we know everything there is to know, no, we don't. There's still many things out there we don't know. But what I do know is that Let Me Explain Studios, a.k.a. Miss Rebecca herself, apparently had a scary interaction with a barracuda. So, I'm interested to see what kind of chicanery she got into with that barracuda. I wonder if she tried to pet it and then it just, like, bit one of her fingers off.
I'm pretty sure she still has all her fingers as far as I know.
Yeah, probably. But, I would say, I'd say it probably resulted in her getting, like, having the dickens scared out of her, so...
Probably.
I would say,
Glad you didn't pause midway through that sentence. If you had to put, like, one more second of pause in there, I would have been like... What?
Anywho, moving on, we are going to be watching My Scary Barracuda Story by Let Me Explain Studios, and let's get into it. Here we go.
Stay till the end of the video to see how you can get one of these guys for free. Ooh. Happy 10-year anniversary, explainers and entertainers.
Hey,
Can you believe it? This channel has been around for an entire decade. I even over-rendered my hair for the occasion. You like it? Hope so. Live-action Becca toiled over it for hours. 10 years on YouTube and I've become the personal stylist to a cartoon character. To mark the celebration, I have a very special story for you. Grab some champagne and brace yourself, explainers. This is the one I've been keeping in my back pocket for an entire decade on this channel. I give you the Barracuda story. If you've been around long enough on my channel, you already know that since middle school, I have been a scuba diver. Mom and I both are. And can I just say, I kind of giggle a little bit that we as a society consider scuba diving to be an extreme sport, because that would make me an extreme athlete. Oh yeah, baby, you like what you see? I am built extreme. Mind you, I'm not saying that scuba diving doesn't take serious training and has dangerous aspects to it, because it does. Just look up the effects of water pressure on the human body and you will see what I mean. But I don't really know how it got put in the same category as skydiving. If my equipment fails underwater, I just swim to the surface while steadily exhaling my breath.
Because you don't want... Because you know why they do that, right? Because if you don't exhale while you are ascending, your lungs will explode. Yeah. Basically Boyle's Law is what it's called.
If your equipment fails when skydiving, you get to spend the next minute watching the ground get closer. Perhaps using that time to ponder the life choices that led you to this moment. I should have just bought a motorcycle. Now, one thing that certainly can go wrong when scuba diving is interactions with the wildlife. But please understand that in most of those cases, it is 100% the human's fault. And in the story that I'm about to tell... yeah, I may have done a big oopsie. When I was in 7th grade, Mom and I decided that we wanted to spend a 3-day weekend diving in one of our favorite places, Cozumel, Mexico. We even invited our diving friend Susie with us because, you know, the more the merrier. Now, very often on dive trips, Mom and I would find one of the ladies around the
Shadow
island.
of the Tomb Raider starts.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then subsequently gets wiped off the map due to an apocalyptic flood.
There you go.
That's in the intro. It's not a spoiler, by the way.
For me,
How the plot starts.
here's the thing. I know why diving is considered an extreme sport, because there's some people out there who do like extreme cave diving. The one that got me was the story that got me was Donald Cerrone talking about he went diving in this silt cave. And here's the thing: you have to be calm while going through, because too much cavitation will kick the silt up, and basically you'll be blind.
Yeah, it's like a smoke bomb.
Yeah. So he was in the cave. He was diving in the cave with someone who he's dived with before, so he trusted him. But then his friend started to panic. He started to like cause cavitations. Cerrone came over to like try and calm him down, like, you know, get him to like calm down. Guy just like started rustling around, and then he got out, and then like the guy just like was gone, and Cerrone was just lost in the mist of the silt. So he didn't know where the hell he was. So he kept like finding like crevasses that he could like follow to like try and get out. Dead end. Like, shit. He looks at his air meter. 10 minutes of air left. Shit. He like keeps looking, finds another crevasse, follows it. Fuck. 7 minutes left. Another dead end. And then pretty soon he's just sitting there, and he's like down to like last 3 minutes. And then he has reserve air, but he doesn't want to depend on that, because you know, you don't want to run out of air, and you don't want to depend on a reserve that is just for emergencies. So he's sitting there, and he tells himself, dude, you just had a kid. You just had a baby. You are not going to leave that kid alone in this world. Let's get the fuck out of here. So he finds another crevasse, and he finds his way out, gets to the surface. He finds the guy that was in the cave with him, sitting on the edge of the boat waiting for him. He gets up to the boat. He says, I'm never fucking diving with you again, bro. Never.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, this...
offering hair braiding services, and get my hair braided in cornrows with colorful beads on the end.
Hell yeah.
Reasons for doing this: 1, I was totally pulling it off, and it did not look completely stupid on me. I don't know what you're talking about. And 2, most importantly, it made managing my hair on these trips so much easier. No need to deal with salty, tangled hair getting caught everywhere with these neat and tidy braids. So when we got to Cozumel for our 3-day weekend, we immediately got my hair braided with beads. Ooh, shiny. Day 1 of diving was great, so we were very excited for day 2. It was a small group, just me, Mom, Susie, a married couple, and our dive master. The dive master is basically the guide, responsible for keeping everybody safe, getting us from point A to point B, and showing off all the fishies. We were all having fun, relaxing, floating along, looking at all the pretty things, when we got to a shallow area that had a sand bottom and lots of big rocks scattered about, each one covered in coral and fish. We were all gathered around the dive master, who was showing us something at one of these rocks, when he turned to look upwards and pointed. Hanging out near the surface were two pretty large barracudas. Yeah, this guy, remember him? The one that ate Nemo's mom, remember that childhood trauma? Of course you do, we're all still paying for therapy for that one. Although this guy looks to be a Pacific barracuda, and the ones we're dealing with today are the great barracuda. Bigger, faster, and way more intimidating in my opinion. They're very aggressive and cunning hunters that rely on quick surprise attacks to kill their prey, and they'll have a go at just about anything if they think they can take it on. Well, our dive master pointed them out to us casually, but then turned back to the rock to show us something else. I, however, was more interested in these two giant predators. I hovered over my group watching the barracudas for a little bit, when I noticed they both slowly started coming towards me. Now, I was a big old marine biology nerd back then, and I'd read in books that barracudas tend to be curious and follow divers from time to time. As long as you're not spearfishing or provoking them, they won't go into bitey mode. So I wasn't too concerned about them approaching. The bigger one came in close and turned the entire length of his body towards me, his eye flicking about, looking me up and down. He was large, pushing 4 feet, maybe longer, and the second one eyeing me from behind him wasn't much smaller. Not to forget those big sharp teeth are a trait you can't exactly ignore, especially when they're that close. Close. In the midst of all of this, it suddenly occurred to me. He's quite close. In fact, I could maybe reach out and touch him right now if I were dumb enough. Maybe I should check to make sure my group isn't leaving without me. I looked over my shoulder, expecting everyone to have moved on a few yards away, but what I saw instead made my blood run cold. My group was huddling together like frightened prey animals, just staring up at the barracudas, their masks perfectly framing the terrified looks in their eyes.
Sup?
Excuse me, it's just come to my attention that I'm in danger. I swam back down to my group, but the barracuda were still in hot pursuit, following me every kick of the way. The dive master was holding his arms out to me, and when I finally reached him, he grabbed me and shoved me behind him, hiding me amongst the others. My heart was racing. I thought over and over to myself,
they're going after the little one. They picked me out as the weakest in the herd. I don't want to be fish food.
We had a real standoff here. These fish were after me like I owed them a debt. All right, buddy, just hand over.
Sure. Just letting them rip over there. Damn.
The tasty morsel and we don't break no kneecaps, capiche? That's when the dive master started waving his hand out to them, aggressively trying to shoo them away. But the real kicker here was clear as a bell. Even underwater, you could hear this brave man shouting through his regulator, "Go away! Go away!" Hey, Frankie, I think this one's trying to communicate. Eventually, during this intense stalemate, the smaller of the two barracuda got a little too close to the other and they accidentally bumped into each other. Startled by the contact, they zipped off into the void of the blue sea, never to return. The dive master turned around to see all of us applauding him gratefully. He smiled with his eyes, stuck his hand inside his wetsuit, and made the motion of a very fast heartbeat. You and me both, buddy. We returned to the boat, and when we were all on board, I yelled out, "What was up with those barracudas?" Well, the thing I forgot to mention about our dive friend Susie was that she also was an expert dive master with decades of experience, and she helped shed some light on the situation. I had never read this in my fish books before, but barracudas are very attracted to shiny objects. Reason for that?
Yeah.
They look like the scales of fish. You know, the thing they hunt. And what, pray tell, had I tied into my hair that was floating all around my head while we were underwater? Ding, 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 you guessed it, shiny beads. I had made my head into a giant fishing lure.
Well, I guess this is what you'd call a bad hair day.
Here's a fun fact for you. There may be a handful of millennials out there who remember this story because in high school I submitted it to the now defunct teen magazine Cosmo Girl, and they published it in their Mi Vida Loca section. The day I found out my family and I were on a flight to Orlando, I was sitting away from everyone else and casually reading the latest issue of Cosmo Girl that I had just bought from the airport. I read the first couple sentences of the story and thought, oh wow, a story about a girl who scuba dives. What a coincidence. Wait a minute. I'm the girl who scuba dives. Mom, guess what? I'm a published writer. You can finally be proud of me. I lost that issue when we moved to our new house, but I think I remember it had a light pink cover with some pop idol girl on it, and the story was called Bad Hair Day, and it would have been an early 2000s issue. If any of you internet sleuths out there feel like finding it, I'd be more than happy to shout you out in the next video. Just one more thing, explainers. This treehouse is getting a little cramped, so I'm having an estate sale over at the shop. Everything must go to make way for the new limited edition items we're making this year. And the best part is, if you spend $40 or more, you get your choice of one of these guys for free. That's a $25 item for zip. You can even just get this bundle right here and automatically be eligible for your gift. Waste no time, because like I said, everything must go. Anyways, explainers and entertainers, that's all I got. Thank you for 10 years of support, and thank you so much for tuning in, but now I gotta tune out. Bye!
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, it makes sense now that she mentioned the beads and the hair, like, before continuing on with the actual dive now. It's like, oh.
Hold on, let's see
What is
here.
the purpose?
Mi Vida Loca. Bad. People are already searching for it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
The Lost Media Wiki. Let me explain Studios Cosmo Girl story. October 2004 issue with Angelina Jolie.
Aha! So yeah, if you want it, it's $20.
Says it's sold though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, shit.
Somebody, a fan of hers, probably bought it and
No
sent
doubt.
it to her.
No doubt about it. Watch the price of these issues just go up now, simply because Rebecca mentioned it. So yeah, found it and sent it to Rebecca already.
There you go.
Damn, look at you, dreamy.
And that was 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That, very, very cool. And now she's gonna have a copy of it again.
Heck yeah.
Huh. So yeah, Rebecca, congratulations on finding you. I guarantee you she's probably gonna mention that in her next video.
Probably.
She'll just be like, "Hey, and to the person who sent me that Cosmo magazine, it didn't have my story in it. So keep looking, internet."
That would suck.
Yeah, but honestly, here's the thing: I would read it before I sent it, just to make sure it had it in. Just like, Mi Vida Loca. Bad Hair Day. There it is. Ha! Here you go, Rebecca. But yeah. So, anywho, that was Let Me Explain Studios with my scary Barracuda story. Yet again, another reason why the ocean can be an asshole. So, also, don't wear shiny things in your hair. As a matter of fact, don't wear shiny things while scuba diving, period.
Definitely don't wear any kind of jewelry in the ocean,
No.
period.
No, you do not. Also,
or sunglasses, because
No.
that's stupid.
Yes, that's very, very stupid.
Unless they're like $5 and you don't care about them.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the ocean, quite terrifying, and Rebecca giving us just another reason as to why they're so terrifying. So,
I know
anywho,
Nick's grateful that it wasn't because of a shark.
oh, I'm sure. I don't know if you all noticed in the background, but whenever they did the thing down here, and like the guy was
there were
Point B
sharks
and
going by.
we got to a shallow area that had a sand.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did too, and I didn't say anything. I was just like, My main thought as I saw that, I was like, I wonder if Nick saw it.
I did.
Yeah. Shark. He always notices shark-shaped
Just
objects.
back there in the background, like, bodum.
So, anyway.
Sorry.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Peace.